What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of La Banca Podcast. I'm your host, Mark, aka Marquinho, aka Eche Segovia, alongside my co-host, Little Man. What's going on, bud?
How you guys doing? Thank you for hosting. Thank you for letting me be here. I'm good. I'm good. Happy New Year's.
Happy New
Uh,
Year to you too, man. You can be anywhere where I'm at, man. Anywhere I'm at, you can be there too.
all right. Thank you for that, brother. Thank you for that. Well, he's like,
Nah, man. So obviously, for those who don't know, we did a little bit of a transfer talk show a couple days ago. Obviously, January comes, we have a winter transfer window that's open, so we're gonna start off with that a little bit. Not so much overall, but there's a lot of noise out there, a lot of racket, and especially from two of the biggest clubs in the world. And obviously, we're talking about Barcelona and Real Madrid, but something very close and near dear to Little Man's heart, as we can see in on his back wall. He has a Real Madrid scarf, and this has to do with their current captain, Sergio Ramos. A lot of talk about Ramos, whether or not he's feeling the love or not in Madrid, whether or not they want him to stay and retire in Madrid, or should he pack up and move on. Um, Little Man, let us know what you know.
well, the trending topic in Europe, in France, in the newspapers, they were talking about in this show in Spain. It's called El Chiringuito. They talk about a secret reunion that president of Real Madrid, Florentino Perez, had with Sergio Ramos. And Sergio Ramos wanted a 2-year contract, but the team policy or the club policy, if you 33 up, they don't give you that contract. They give you 1 year optional to another. Means that you don't make that the same amount of money as you can make when you with a 2-year contract. Sergio Ramos, as everybody knows, he's a Real Madrid legend. He won 4 champions with Real Madrid. He's been the captain, the caudillo, the mentor, the guy that make everything happen, especially with that special goal on Lisboa, 2015. Um, his dream, or I guess every soccer player's dream, is to end up his career in the club of his life. We all know that he came from Sevilla, but he was well known and he played national, and basically he said that the club of his life is Real Madrid. Real Madrid gave him everything that he has and who he is at this time. So he doesn't feel that love no more. He doesn't feel that Florentino Perez and Jose Luis Sanchez hasn't given him the support. They haven't reached him to let him know that they appreciate him, giving giving it all for Real Madrid. And Florentino Perez is not going to give him that 2-year. So he's only going to give him, as he's done with all the players. He's done this with Ronaldo, Raúl, Fernando Hierro, with Fernando Hierro, and all. I mean, he has only given him that option. And Pepe too. He hasn't not given him a 2-year contract. What was that, Mark? I'm sorry.
No, obviously we all know what Sergio Ramos means to Madrid, what he's done for Real Madrid. He's won everything with Real Madrid. It's an unfortunate situation for him because obviously I think if we were under different circumstances, if we were under normal circumstances and this whole pandemic didn't hit, I don't think it would have been that big of an issue. I think for the most part, Florentino Perez and the whole Madrid board of directors and everybody involved in the front office, they know how much Ramos means to the club. They know how much he means to supporters and the fans out there all over the world. So they want a happy ending to this, but unfortunately for him, his contract ends in a time period where the finances are not there, especially for the biggest spending club in the world. You got to think about it. A club like Madrid gets paid a lot of money, marketing, merchandising, especially game day money. How many games that are played in the Santiago Bernabéu, or how many tournaments they go to where they get paid because they're invited over there, or whatever the cause may be. And like I said, if this was under normal circumstances, I don't think it would be an issue. Now, it depends on what Ramos wants, obviously, because you hear different things, you hear different rumors. And from my standpoint, if Ramos wants that 2 years, and let's say he's saying, you know what, I want the 2 years because I feel like I can give 2 more years, and he's not asking for a pay raise, let's say he's actually agreeing to a pay decrease, then I see where they can negotiate it. Maybe not break the rules, but bend the rule for him since he is a legend for Real Madrid, and maybe do that to him. But on the other hand, if he is asking for a pay raise, especially now where you can't, where they're asking all the players to take a pay cut, because of the pandemic, then no, I totally back what Florentino Perez and the directors in Madrid and the front office over there are doing. They're being firm with their stance because unfortunately during this time period we have to follow suit with what we're known and doing. And if you're asking, and if Ramos is asking for more money,
Mark,
and a second guaranteed season, then I don't follow suit with that.
Mark, this is not a friends club. This is an institution. This is the biggest club in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And there's policies that you have to follow. And I understand what you're saying, and I trust me, I do know where you're coming from when you say he's a captain of the team. He has won everything with Real Madrid, everything with the Spanish national team. But unfortunately, this is it for him. The good thing for Ramos that he has pretty good options, and I don't think Real Madrid is going to bend his arm and go like, okay, fine, stay. We're going to give it 2 years. No, especially because of the pandemic, and plus, Florentino Perez has to take care of the money for Real Madrid. That's what he gets paid for. He gets paid for to take care of the money, to make that money be well spent, right? So, I think that unfortunately for Real Madrid, he's not going to stay.
Yeah.
Sergio Ramos, I know you don't listen to me or nothing, but Real Madrid is your house. Stay at your house. One day in a conference, you say that you will play for Real Madrid free. Keep that word. Stay. But if you got options, if you're gonna listen to other clubs, then Florentino Perez knows that is gonna happen. Then and he's willing to give you up, and there's a pretty good offer for you, and he's willing to give you up. I say go for your dreams. And
yeah,
as we say, PSG has spoke to Sergio Ramos, and they have told him that they're gonna make a very, very, very good, ambitious, and good team with him and Messi at PSG.
It's
go ahead.
No, it's crazy because like you mentioned, it's a difficult position because like when you put yourself in the player's shoes, obviously as a player you're trying to make as much money as you can because your career is shorter than normal, right? But then when you put yourself in the shoes of the club or the institution, like you call it, you have to understand the financial backing, especially in the situation right now with the pandemic and the finances not being nowhere near where what they used to be. And obviously, if you have an aggressive and ambitious club like PSG knocking on the door of players like Messi and Ramos, offering them kind of lucrative deals because of the name and their resume, really, because they're all-time greats, right? If Ramos is asking Madrid for a 2-year deal, they're not willing to bend for him. That's fine. Madrid has all the, they have all the purpose for not doing that, right? They're trying to follow suit with their protocol and their rules, right? But if you have a club in PSG who rumor has it is offering him a 3-year deal and an increase in pay, then what are we talking about? It's either you want to finish your career with the club that made you and that you love, or you want to go make money, and continue your playing career. Because at the end of the day, if Ramos leaves tomorrow, he's still a Madrid legend. Nothing changes that.
Nothing changes. And Madrid would always be there.
Yeah, that doesn't change.
This doesn't change. So, but at the same time, Mark, how can I explain to you this? This is imagine this is a train running in front of you, and the wagon to put these two legends plus the guys they already have in their team, put them all together. Do you think PSG is gonna let that chance go?
No,
No.
no.
He has the. This is this is this is the opportunity of a life. How many times all those just like we say how all those planets,
All those stars align.
all the
Yeah.
stars in line,
Mhm.
and you have the chance to do it. I mean, this is PSG. Like, this is gonna be maybe the best time of their life since they have exist in soccer. This is
Yeah.
like this is the best thing, and I feel happy for him. I don't feel happy because Ramos, of course, he's I'm a Real Madrid fan, and I love Real Madrid, and I would love Sergio Ramos to stay at his house because Real Madrid is his house. But at the same time, I'm very excited to see a PSG put up this great team with Messi and Sergio Ramos, Neymar, and Mbappe, and
The
Marquinhos
super
and
team.
everything out there. So it kind of gives you something to go like, man, that'll be so awesome to watch, right? I mean, will you be excited to watch a PSG and Champions League against Manchester City
Yeah.
or Bayern Munich? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying. It's kind of, kind of the creation of a super team. It's possible, and especially when you have an ambitious owner and group ownership, as far as like the PSG's group. We know that they have all the money and all the backing in the world. And they're
Okay,
one
baby.
they're one of the few clubs that where this pandemic has. I mean, it's affected everybody, but for them, it's not really that much of a cause. They're willing to go out
You're
there.
right about that.
They're willing to take advantage of this opportunity to where they know a lot of the big clubs or the rival clubs around Europe are not going to spend as much because their money isn't where it needs to be, and they have the money, so they want to go and make sure that they take a full advantage of this opportunity and try to go win this Champions League trophy that has elated them so often these last couple of years. But yeah, man, like I said, I mean, I put myself in those shoes. Obviously, with all the rumors of Messi going to PSG or Manchester City. Obviously in my heart, I want him to stay in Barcelona and finish his career in Barcelona. That nothing would make me happier. But in the same time, as a Messi fan and supporter, I want to see him
Happy.
continue to play. I want to see him happy.
See him happy. He wants to be happy.
Yeah, if Messi continues playing until 40, I mean, hey, if he's still doing it at a high level and he's enjoying his soccer, let him play till he's 40, man. 40,
Yeah.
So I mean, at the end of the day, nothing changes. They're both legends at their respective clubs, and all that good stuff. It's just the fact of the matter is sometimes you need a new chapter in your life or a new adventure, and
Right.
and that's all that is. This means nothing. This does nothing to their legacy. Their legacy is cemented. They're the best. They're the best in their respective positions, and they're club legends forever. They're legends in the world of football. Forever.
The PSG future, how you call it, their squad,
Mhm.
their structuring of the club has gone very well, and they just got a great coach. Pochettino is a very good coach. He has done it with Tottenham. Tottenham had no options, and they got to a Champions League final. I think with that, and Neymar being over there and Mbappe being over there, I think they're gonna make a great squad with a great coach. And I think finally Alcaraz he can finally get his champion, which is he wants that champion. Alcaraz wants that champion. That's all he wants. He doesn't want anything else. He doesn't want to win he doesn't want to win the league. No. He wants to win the champions. This team is going to be made just for champions. So
yeah, for sure. Obviously
looking forward to that.
Yeah, for sure. So, obviously we got the whole transfer window to talk about that. Who knows what's going to happen? Obviously, I don't think neither one of these two players
It'll be really good.
I don't think they're going to move in January, but if it does, that'd be something exciting. But I highly doubt it.
No. This is going to be summer stuff.
But moving on, man, we're going to be talking about the biggest league in the world, which is the Premier League. And, obviously the Premier League, right now. They're just finishing up a really, really, really heavy schedule that they just had. They've had like somewhere around 40 games in 18 days or something like that.
Yeah, it's like
Which
a
is
lot.
a lot of games, man. A lot of games, a lot of pressure on the players to continue good form. A lot of pressure on coaches and squads because I mean, like we've been saying these last couple of weeks, one bad week in the Premier League and you go from top all the way down to the bottom, man. I mean, not all the way to the bottom, but like you fall. The fall is pretty heavy, and vice versa. If you do really well one week, you go from the bottom, you raise up a lot. Just in case, obviously, talking about my Arsenal, my Gunners, they've won 3 games in a row in 8 days, and they've been able to climb the table a little bit. They were at 15th and now they're in 11th, man. And it's crazy because even though they're in 11th place, they're only 10 points away from first. Man, the Premier League table is so tight this season. I mean, the top 5 teams are separated literally by 4 points.
Yeah.
And you're talking about teams like Liverpool, Manchester United, Tottenham, Manchester City, and Leicester City, which by all means is not a small club at all. These clubs
they became big.
Yeah, these clubs have deep squads. They have a lot of players wanting and fighting, for the respective clubs. A lot of fixtures this past weekend, and we're gonna go over a couple of them. One of the biggest matches, obviously, this weekend. Unfortunately, our pal Fidel isn't here to talk about it, but his Chelsea, man, they're continuing on bad form. They got beat, and they got beat bad by Pep Guardiola's Man City, 3-1. It was not nowhere near close of a good game.
He got it bad, man. I was talking to Fidel, man. He was like, man, they were dominating the game, but they got tired. I'm like, Fidel, that's not an excuse, man. These guys are getting paid for that, and they knew this was gonna happen. It's just, I guess the players are not believing no more in Frank Lampard. I mean, out of 11 games, he's only won 3.
Yeah, it's funny.
That's not a good record, though.
No, it's not a good record at all. And it's funny because, like, Frank Lampard, obviously we know he's a club legend in Chelsea, right? He's won it all with Chelsea. He's one of those players that won Champions League titles, cups, all that stuff. But it's different between being a player and being a coach, man. Because when he was a player in Chelsea, he was a player at a time at Chelsea where they were very high. They were one of the best clubs in Europe. And right now, they're kind of in the transitional stage where they're getting back up there, and they have a talented squad. It's just that they need a little bit of time to.
How much time, Mark? How much time?
Well, no. Obviously, yeah. I mean, when you spend that much money for these quality players who've played, together, I mean, you expect them to kind of, hey, let's hit the ground running, and let's win. But it doesn't always happen that way, Some players sometimes for whatever reason, one thing or the other, sometimes they don't adapt as quickly as we like them to, and it happens everywhere. It's not just, the players in Chelsea. There's some players that are adapting really quickly, like, their goalkeeper Mendy. I mean, he's doing really well. Kepa can't get back that starting goalkeeper spot, right? But then you have
Kepa,
it was a mistake.
He was one. No, he was one. He was
the future.
There was a big argument, and they were so mad at Zinedine Zidane one day because Zinedine Zidane rather Kepa was free, right? And he was willing to leave, but he was willing to go to Real Madrid. And he was like so close to getting Real Madrid. He was already everything was set up for him to go to Real Madrid. And Zizou was like, no, I'm gonna stay with Keylor Navas. He's my goalkeeper, and I'm not gonna bring. Yeah, so I'm not gonna bring anybody else. And everybody was like, "Oh, you're making a mistake. This guy is the future of Spain." Some.
No, I mean, we're not gonna stick too much on this, but yeah, Kepa has not lived up to the contract that he was given, nor the transfer fee that was spent on him.
I mean, if you leave the field, it's just horrible.
Yeah, but then again, now you have players like Timo Werner, who was a great goal scorer in the Bundesliga. He was top notch.
Yeah,
and he's not scoring in the Premier League. You got a number 10 and Kai Havertz, who literally is the number 10 for
Pulisic
Germany.
is doing bad too. Pulisic
And
is doing bad.
he's not doing anything either. So I mean, it's one of those things, man. It's an adaptation time, But like I said, the longer it takes for those players to adapt, the more in danger it puts Lampard of losing his job at Chelsea, because it's not going well. They spend $200 million on
Man,
players.
that's a lot of green.
Exactly. They spend $200 million. When you spend that kind of money, you're expecting results quickly, and they're not getting it. Moving on. Obviously, we have to, since we're talking about London, we got to talk about my Arsenal. 4-0 against West Brom. I understand West Brom bottom feeders, but still, man, I'm so happy.
That's the break. That was the break, man. You needed the break.
I'm happy. I'm happy to see the turnaround. The fact of the matter is, the young players, man. I'm so happy that these young players are grabbing the bull by the horns and taking the opportunity that's given to them by Arteta, and they're doing the most with it. You see players like Saka, Smith Rowe, Martinelli. They're doing everything possible to make it hard for Martinelli to go and bring back the older players, which I love. When as a young player, you have so much more passion and so much more drive, because you want to show to your coach, your coaches, and to the fan base that you deserve a starting 11 spot. And these guys, these young guys, man, they're showing out. They're showing out.
Well, I mean, Arsenal, they may have a rough time to this game, but I mean, Arsenal is one of the top teams in England. They need to come up with it, man. And if these young guys are making it happen, God bless them, man. I mean, these are the few chances that you get in soccer. Mm-hmm. I mean, you hardly get a chance to play in a quality team, because quality team breed quality players. And if you get the chance to play there, I mean, and if you're making it happen, God bless you for that, because new blood is always welcome in soccer.
Yeah, for sure, man. And I think the one thing of the matter is that Arsenal does have a lot of talented youngsters. Let's just hope that they can progress quickly, because
stay at the level.
Yeah, stay at the level and even surpass it, man. I mean, I think, to be honest, like I said, Bayankuko Saka, he's the future of England, man. He's one of those players for future of England. A 19-year-old kid, man, doing what he's doing at his level, at his age. That's crazy. Martinelli, I think he's a future star for Brazil as well, and if he can stay off the injury list, man, he's going to be another one that's going to be really impressive out there for them. But moving on, man, obviously yesterday's match, number 1 Liverpool falls, man, 1-0 to Southampton. Now, when you say crazy, when you say Southampton, you're thinking, mid-table Southampton. Nah, not this year, man. Southampton is staying up there, man. They're fighting for position to play in Europe next season, whether it be Europa League or Champions League. They're fighting, and they're doing a really good job.
They brought Everton down. Everton was at 6. Now they're in 7. I'm sorry, 5th. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a 5th.
No, they're 6. They're 6.
Yeah, they're 6 exactly. Well, with that win, I mean, it was a pretty good game. Liverpool had his chances like always.
Yeah,
but Southampton played his game. They didn't defend a lot. I mean, they defended, but not like they usually go. Like they parked the bus behind. They did not, and they got the W, man. Even their coach was crying. He was like,
I was going to ask you what your thoughts on that.
Yeah,
I was going to ask you, how do you feel about that? I mean, to see so much passion ooze out of a coach like that. I mean, because we don't really expect coaches to give that much emotion, but truly, man, like the coach for Southampton, he was on his knees crying, man.
That means he did his job, Mark. I mean, when you do your job and you players believe in you, you players believe in you, and plus you do your job and things come out right, that's a blessing, man. I mean, I would do the same. I mean, if I do my job and if my players believe in my strategy to beat another team, and everything comes out as we plan, hands up for that, man. You know.
No, man. I mean, trust me, man. It's refreshing to see passion like that still in soccer. Because sometimes, obviously this new age of soccer, it's a lot of business and all about the money and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
But it's good to see the passion still out there for soccer teams and for soccer coaches as well. But yeah, man. Staying in the Premier League, one of the teams that we didn't really talk about, Manchester United, but something else is going on Manchester United that we kind of want to touch on, man, and it obviously has to do with one of the top free agents that they brought in, Edison Cavani. He was in a little bit of trouble this last couple of days, where he got suspended by the Football Association, which is the governing body of soccer in England. He got suspended 3 games over quote unquote inappropriate comment to a friend of his on Instagram, I believe it was, or one of the social media outlets. I won't repeat what he said. I won't translate it because, obviously, like I said, it means something else in English. But yeah, man. Well, what are your thoughts about what's going on with Cavani being suspended 3 games for, obviously, in my opinion, I don't think he had any negative condation towards him, his friend. Obviously, it's his friend. It's something that I think he meant it endearing, but obviously it's a culture clash right there. Difference of cultures, difference in meanings. The way it was said, maybe it was taken misconstrued a different kind of way. But what's your opinion on it, man?
I think it was just an unfortunate comment.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't think he would be such a. Well, I mean, he was, but I don't think he will. First of all, he congratulated his friend. His teammate. He told him, well done. He called him the N word, if we can say it. And just tell him to congratulate. Thanks for that. That was awesome. The Premier League took it in the other way. The thing with that is that we just came from a fourth ref calling an assistant coach,
yeah,
black or the N word, inappropriate name, and he says that I think the Premier League just trying to put him out there and trying to say that, look, we understand that y'all like to joke around like that, but this is no joke.
Yeah,
you should not be joking like that, because other people think that just because you joke, it's okay for me to literally just tell that person, be out there racist straight out. Yeah. And I think England in whole Europe, they have a lot of issues with the racism.
Yeah. So I mean, in my opinion, obviously I agree with what you're saying. It's just the difference in culture, obviously you and me, we come from a Latin American culture, right. Hispanic, Spanish speaking culture. And when we read that, we don't find it no kind of way. We don't find it any kind of way offensive when we're reading it from our standpoint, right. But obviously if you read it from a standpoint of English speaking person who might not understand the culture over there, then yeah, I can see how it could be misconstrued or misunderstood as something of maybe racial or inappropriate comment towards another person, especially when you don't know what the indication is or the tone is of the person receiving that message. But yeah, I think the thing is, like, I know he has, like, the CONMEBOL, the Uruguayan Federation, Suarez, Diego Gordin. They're trying to, tell the FA to kind of like, hey, nah, take off the suspension. This is, Edison Cavani is a good person. He didn't have any negative incantation towards that guy, whatever this and that. And that can be all true. Like I said, I don't think he said it in a negative way. I don't think he was saying in a negative tone neither. But you have to stand firm with what you're trying to do. And in the English speaking culture, that's inappropriate. Right. So he and applause to Cavani too, because he said, you know what, I understand. I understand in my culture it means this type of way, but in this culture it doesn't. And I put it in a public forum for everybody to see, so they can so they can, take it whichever way they want it. And unfortunately, people took it the wrong way and got offended by it.
I
And
mean, there's a bunch of haters are gonna just
no,
just
and,
gonna have
he
coming out
understood.
there.
He understood that, and he's gonna take his 3 games, suspend it, and that's fine, and that's great. It just shows what kind of character he has.
Yeah, I mean, he just needs to suck it up, take it.
Yeah,
Don't make no more big deal. Just take it, take the blame. I'm sorry, apologize. We all know he didn't did it like in a bad way. Just take it and just move on. That's all it needs to do.
Obviously,
I mean, because he's an excellent player. He's an old veteran, a very good player. So just throw it under the bridge and not do no more. And then
for sure,
hopefully we can keep enjoying what he does because he's a really good soccer player.
Oh yeah, El Matador's a really good player. But staying with Manchester, obviously they have a big match tomorrow in the Carabao Cup. But before we get to them, there was
is he suspended from that, or he's suspended like for the full tournament?
The next
just for one.
No, the next 3 games. So the next 3 games under the FA. So that would mean any Premier League game, any FA Cup game, any
okay. I thought because it's a different tournament.
No.
He said that on this tournament, so he will be suspended from this tournament.
I'm not sure, but I think since it all falls underneath the Football Association.
Okay, that's fine. That's a big deal. I was just asking that.
Yeah. So anyway, the Carabao Cup, they're reaching their semifinals. Their semifinals started today, and today was Tottenham Mourinho versus Brentford, which is one of the top teams in Championship. And I won't be surprised if they're in the Premier League next season. But Tottenham won today 2-0. Didn't really, it was a good match, but it wasn't anything too hard for Tottenham. They reach a final. Obviously we know that they have gone without a trophy for a very long time now, and they're trying to win any kind of trophy. I know a lot of people make fun of the Carabao Cup as like, it's just another cup, but it's just a small little tournament, whatever. But for fans and supporters of Tottenham who haven't lifted a trophy, and God knows how long, I think 2007 was the last time they lifted a trophy, for a club as big as Tottenham to not lift any kind of trophy since 2007. It must be frustrating to be a Tottenham supporter. Yeah. But they're on
to Arsenal.
Yeah, no, I mean we lifted the FA Cup and the Community Shield this season. So
yeah.
So let's not forget.
I'm sorry. Dang.
So they're in the final. Tomorrow's match, though, a Manchester derby. Manchester United versus Manchester City for it all, to meet Tottenham in the final of the Carabao Cup. Obviously, Man City is the 3-time defending champion. They've won it the last 3 seasons. And Manchester United, they're on an uproar, man. They're doing really well in the league. They're tied for first place with a game in hand with Liverpool. Obviously, silverware is always welcome. Any kind of trophy is always welcome. And they're looking, and Oli, he's looking for trophies, man, because there's always been a lot of negative connotation towards him. That he's not taking his team, but yet his team is in first place in the league. They're semifinals of the cup competition and doing really well in the other ones. So, what are your thoughts for tomorrow, man? I know there's a little bit of a COVID issue for City, and I know Pep Guardiola has hinted that there's going to be a lot of players.
He has an extended team, dude. He should not worry about that, dude. I mean, he has, if I'm not mistaken, he has like 2 guys for each position, so he should be good.
So what do you
I think Man U is doing a great job. In the league, just a few weeks ago, they were number 12. No, they're number 2, and they're not behind points. They're behind goals. So from number 12 to number 2, they skipped in 10 positions, and they're doing a good job, man. I think they got it going on. They got the rhythm. They got the rhythm of winning. They're combining very well. I think they could probably pull up a win. Now, these are 2 games or 1 game?
Oh, it's 1 game.
1 game?
Yep.
Man, I think Man U will take it though.
What's your score? What do you think the score is going to be?
1-0, 2-1. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because Manchester United, man, they have a beast of a number 10 in Bruno Fernandes. He's a game changer, man. He's
really coming up with it, man. I every time I turn on the TV, And every time I hear from him, he's the one. He's the one that everybody looks for,
Yeah,
and
I'm
everybody
not.
talks about this guy.
I'm not a. I'm
Bruno
not a.
Fernandes.
I'm not a fan at all of Manchester United, but I'm a big fan of Bruno Fernandes. Man, he's a
Yeah, he's really good.
top notch player.
The Portuguese.
With that being said, though, man, Man City, they still have that squad, man. They have Kevin De Bruyne, Raheem Sterling. The list goes on. Phil Foden, which is another young English player, 19 years old, that's playing world class right now. So it's tough for me, man. But I'm gonna go opposite of you. I'm gonna go Man City 2-1. So I guess we'll see next week when we get on who was right and who was wrong. But you're taking United and I'm taking Man City.
All right, good stuff.
We'll but so if Manchester United goes into the final against Tottenham, who wins the final for you?
Tottenham.
You want Tottenham to lift the trophy?
Yeah, I think that the chosen one,
the chosen
Mourinho,
one.
Yeah, he has a good squad, man. But
yeah, he does.
Man, with this COVID, it's affecting the United Kingdom so bad. I mean, just a few minutes ago, 40 players from Premier League, 40 players have tested positive. 40.
It's gonna be crazy, man.
It is crazy, bro. It is crazy, man. I mean,
they're coming to a break at a perfect time because they have a little bit of a break off the league these next couple of weeks. This next couple of days, I mean. But yeah, man. If Man City versus Tottenham, I'm going Man City all the way. I think that would be a smash. I think Man City will take care of them easily. More so because I don't want Tottenham to lift the trophy. Screw Tottenham. I don't care about them.
Such a hater out there, man. Damn,
it's not a hate, man. It's like
you didn't have a good Christmas or what?
No, it's like
bro.
It's like Barcelona, Madrid, man. If Madrid is in the final against anybody, I'm going with the other person.
Man.
But with that being said, man. Before we go, we have one more thing to get with you. And obviously, the French Football Association, they do all these awards and everything going on, blah blah blah. And L'Equipe, which is one of their publications over there in France, announced their World 11, and the World 11 is pretty much the same as everybody else's, with the exclusion of one big player. Your thoughts on it, man? I mean, let me tell you the players on there first before you
go ahead. Goalkeeper.
And then you can tell me what your thoughts on. So for goalkeeper, we got Bayern Munich, Manuel Neuer. Left back,
the Canadian
Alphonso Davies. Center back, Sergio Ramos, the legend that we just talked about earlier in the show. Center back, Virgil van Dijk, which I don't think anybody would neglect, from Liverpool. Right back, the youngster, the future, Trent Alexander-Arnold from Liverpool.
Arnold, yes.
Yeah, from the three midfielders. Joshua Kimmich from Bayern Munich. Really outstanding player, outstanding midfielder. I think one of the best to do it. Thiago Alcantara, who last season played with Bayern Munich, but this season he's with Liverpool.
Alcantara, Spaniard-Brazilian. Yes.
Spaniard-Brazilian, man. Very talented player. Kevin De Bruyne, who we just spoke about not too long ago.
Awesome player.
Honestly, maybe the best midfielder in the Premier League. The forwards, Cristiano Ronaldo, your idol, on the right. I mean, on the left,
Mr. Champions.
Mr. Champions, in your opinion?
No, in everybody's opinion, baby cake.
Robert Lewandowski, who, in my opinion, was the player of the year last season. Unfortunately for him, but the Ballon d'Or was not given out. Otherwise, that was his, man. He had a great season.
Yeah, right,
Bayern Munich, they won everything. Five trophies in a year. It would have been 6 if if they had the Club World Cup in the same season, in the same year, but unfortunately they had to postpone and move it back a little bit. And Neymar, PSG, which obviously they win everything in France, and they made it to the Champions League final against Bayern Munich. Unfortunately, he didn't lift the Champions League Cup, but Neymar had a really great season with PSG. But obviously, the big name here missing is Messi.
Why are you surprised?
Why am I surprised?
Why? What? Okay, in the top, are you upset because Robert Lewandowski's there, or
No,
are you super mad because Cristiano Ronaldo keeps on making it, or you mad because Neymar left Barcelona and now he's a better player in PSG? What's your situation, Mark? I think I Thiago Alcantara, he's a really good. He's really
no, no,
good.
no,
He
no.
he played in the
He
excellent
deserves. He
excellent
deserves.
tournament. He played
He,
in an excellent tournament for Bayern Munich. He got traded, to Liverpool. De Bruyne, man, he's off of the line, dude. That guy's another world, man. He's an excellent player, man. There's no doubt about that. The defense, the keeper, I agree with the keeper. He's always been out there. He's always been a legend.
yeah, he
I'm
returned.
I'm very happy for this for Davis.
Yeah.
Man, he is a phenomenal soccer player, defender. He's a defender, man. He goes up to the front. He dribbles. He does what it, man. He's an excellent player, man. He's out of this world.
And 19
Now,
years.
why are you saying that Messi's not here? Do you not understand?
No,
These
no, no,
are
no.
these
I
are
mean,
the top players for that year.
look, man. They obviously all these players are they deserve this not this gratitude or whatever. Um, Obviously it's an opinion from a publication in France, and obviously one of the things all these players they deserve their rankings, right? They all have phenomenal seasons. They've won trophies in their leagues. They won their European trophies. They won whatever they won. The thing obviously that the reason why I understand Messi's not on there is because no trophies, right? No trophies this past season. Barcelona wasn't where they're normally at, and understandable. I love Messi, but I understand this past season wasn't a good season for him personally. It wasn't a good season for his club, and that's understandable. So I mean, I'm not mad about it. I'm not upset about it. It's understandable. I completely agree with the fact that if you're not winning your league, or you're not winning Champions League, or your competition, your European competitions, or you're not winning titles, then obviously that adds that adds to your prestige. And this past season, unfortunately for Barcelona and Lionel Messi,
Let me
they,
ask you.
they didn't
With
win
that
any.
being said, Mark, I'm sorry to interrupt. With that being said, Mark, let me ask you something. It kind of goes with this. FIFA the best. It kind of contradicts himself,
Well,
and we all hold on, and we all know that these two association, which is FIFA, which is UEFA, and L'Equipe, they were both together and giving you just one trophy, which is Balón de Oro.
mhm.
And for some reason, they broke up.
Yeah.
They don't want nothing to do, so they went each other's way.
Yeah.
Now, it kind of contradicts it because the best put Robert
Messi.
Lewandowski, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Messi.
Yeah, over Neymar.
And I'm telling you right there, I'm not being a hater. I don't. Quite frankly, I don't. I'm not the biggest Messi fan, but I am a fan of soccer. Messi plays great soccer. So I'm a fan of him. But then you understand, like, why is Messi on the best? What is he doing there? He hasn't. He didn't accomplish nothing. He had a poor season, and due to him, his team had a poor season. And now you see that the keep takes out that the keep brings in he's 11 for the 2020, and now you see that Neymar shows up there, and Robert Lewandowski and Cristiano shows up there, but not Messi. Do you think Messi should take Neymar's spot? What is the contradiction here? Why do you think what kind of critique do you see that the FIFA best has that L'Equipe doesn't have against with Messi?
Yeah, I understand what you're trying to say. The crazy part about it is that the reason why like players like Zlatan Ibrahimovic and like Endicott Cavani can never win the Golden Boot and for Europe, because they count the goals in France 1 point at a 0.75 per goal, right? So like one goal in Europe, and one goal in Spain, one goal in England, one goal in Germany equals one goal. But one goal in France equals, I think, 0.75. And it's an unfortunate thing because they categorize the Ligue 1, as a level below the other leagues in Europe. Which I think you and me can both agree that the French league isn't the strongest league in Europe. It's
Yeah, but this is voted.
yeah. But what I'm getting to is that the fact of the matter is obviously this is a French publication, so they're gonna take their own league into high regards. And let's be frank, I love Neymar. I think highly of Neymar. Regardless of whatever happened with him in Barcelona, Neymar as a player, he's top notch. And Neymar, all he does in PSG is win trophies. Obviously, that's all everybody in PSG does is win trophies. But with that being said, it's a monopoly in France football. It's PSG or no, but it's PSG all over, right? And Neymar has had a lot of injury history. And the funny thing that we say about Messi is that you said so yourself, is that Messi had a poor quote unquote poor season, but he had a poor season towards his standards. And we have high standards for Messi because of what he's done, in his whole career, And Messi's poor season is somebody's greatest season ever, And
I don't think about that, Mark. Well, I don't sympathize with what you said. I think Messi had a bad. I think Messi had a bad year, and this just shows you that
he had
only the best need to be at the best time. It's like in a national team, not just because you the history goal leader for the national team doesn't mean that all the times you need to be there. You know what I'm saying? Just because you live enough of the rent that you've been doing for a long time. You're doing a good job at that year. You deserve to be there, not because you were good, not because you had 10 good years, but now this one's bad.
Yeah, but
the same bad years, those 10 good years behind you, they're gonna help you get there. No, I think this is.
But that's what I'm saying. I mean,
this is just like a contradiction of.
I mean, let me give you his stats. Okay, obviously we know he's not under because he didn't win no trophies. Okay, that's fine. He didn't win league, he didn't win no Copa, he didn't win no Super Copa, he didn't win no Champions League. I understand why he's not on the list, but let me tell you his statistics from 2020. This is all Barcelona official games, right? 25 goals and 21 assists. 25 goals and 21 assists. Anybody else aside from Messi and Ronaldo, those are crazy ass numbers. A 2020 season. When do you see that? You don't see that. Even your beloved Ronaldo doesn't have a 2020 season. Never. Ronaldo barely gets 10 assists a year.
That makes Messi go. He's getting paid.
But I'm just saying,
he does job very good.
But what I'm saying is, there's such a high standard for Messi, and that's fine. He embellishes that because he wants that high standard. He wants to be known as the greatest ever, and that's fine. And I understand that he's not under because he didn't win no silverware, and that's fine. But I don't want people thinking that he doesn't deserve a spot there. I mean, as a player, as an individual, he has the stats to back it up. But obviously we know soccer is a team sport. And trophies come with team accomplishments. And unfortunately for him, he didn't accomplish anything as far as a team. So he's left out. And that's understandable. So I have no issue with the starting 11 they put out. It's just, obviously a lot of people are going to notice that Messi's not there, and if you're talking about, Messi over Neymar or Neymar over Messi, it's an argument that you can have, it's just that, because, I understand Neymar gets the nod over here because 1, he's playing in France. 2, he took PSG to a Champions League final, and 3, he won all the trophies in France, right? So that's check 1, 2, 3. Messi didn't make it to Champions League final. He had a bad Champions League. He had a bad domestic season. And then he went Okay, so obviously he didn't check off the right boxes, but I have no problem with the starting 11. Congrats to all those players, man. And Messi, regardless of whether he's on there or not, he's still one of the greatest ever.
You're right. You're right about that. Yeah, no problem with that.
Yeah, guys. So obviously, we're getting here towards the end. We're gonna continue doing these English shows, obviously, because we keep getting a lot of new subscribers and a lot of new, a lot of more views and a lot more of a connection with you guys, and we love it, man. Please continue to comment on the shows, the English or Spanish shows. Trust us, we read them all. We reply to them as quickly as possible. But other than that, guys, please remember to like the chat, like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Please to do that. Share with your friends out there. We talk football all the time. Here pretty soon, hopefully pretty soon, we'll be we'll be giving out our social media handles and Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff, so that way we can interact on different platforms and all that good stuff. But other than that, unless you have anything else to say before we go.
No, I don't. I mean, just thank you, Mark, for having me. It was awesome. Just like Mark said, Mark. Subscribe, give us like, tell your mom, your dad, your grandpa, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, subscribe, please. We like to talk soccer. If my English is not very good,
it's beautiful.
Sorry about that.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
No. I just enjoy talking soccer, and trust me, guys. My first language is not English, but I love talking soccer. So just like Mark said, subscribe, and if you have any petitions or any questions, please let us know, man. The chat is open, and just like Mark said, we'll try to reply as fast as we can.
All right, guys. Well, with that being said, have a good night and see you next week.